Hello wrestling fans, the Wrestling Wizard here and welcome to another video, and in this video we're going to explore the potential, the possibility of an incoming new character to come into the fold in this Bray Wyatt storyline. Now it's safe to say that this Bray Wyatt storyline is frying the brains of many a Bray Wyatt fan all over the world, including myself. There are so many questions to this storyline with very few answers, and that is just the beauty of it. That is Bray Wyatt's creativity at its best. But before we get into the juicy stuff of this video, as always, be really appreciative if you could like the video, share the video, and even better, subscribe if you're new. Now, without any pun intended, I keep coming full circle to the same conclusion in terms of this Bray Wyatt narrative, this current one, that this is a psychological angle, a psychological narrative where Bray Wyatt is in a battle within his mind between good and evil, and we love a battle between good and evil. And us fans, we should be ashamed of ourselves, because in a way we are siding with the darker, more sinister thoughts in Bray's mind, the ghost of the man who sold the world in Uncle Howdy, because Uncle Howdy is teasing, dangling the carrot in front of Bray and saying, look, you can put on a mask again, you could be the Fiend or something even darker, and you could be dominant, you could be powerful, you could be entertaining, the top man in WWE. You could get those titles, you could go after the top man in WWE, things coming full circle, and be the man. But you're not, you're a shell of your former self. You're weak, and I'm going to prey on that vulnerability. And us fans are going, yeah, we're down for that. Come on, Bray, do bad things, become the Fiend again and wreak havoc in WWE. Become that human tornado. We don't really care about you because we just want to be entertained. And one segment that stood out to me many a week ago was when we saw that segment with the crew member in Bray Wyatt, and you could physically, right in front of us, you could see Bray was hearing the voices, but opposing those voices and doing the right thing. He said to the guy, look, walk away, otherwise I'm going to bash your head basically against the wall. He's of course headbutted LA Knight. We assume he's the man in the mask doing all of these attacks. And it's genius because we don't know for sure, we can't say for 100% certainty that that is Bray who is doing the attacks, which I love because there's this blurred line between fact and fiction, what is right and what is wrong in Bray's mind. If he attacked LA Knight, it was essentially his subconscious that took over, so he's not going to show any form of remorse, disregarding his actions. Where have we heard that before? Of course, in the psychological reports. And even a couple of weeks ago, we got a voice message from a doctor. It was creepy when you phoned those digits, but absolute genius storytelling, that Bray is essentially a harm to himself and others. He's a ticking time bomb ready to explode without a moment's notice, really. And Bray is opposing that the best he can. Bless him, he's trying to fight it. He's trying to battle those demons. And when he's in front of us, the audience in the ring, there's a sort of lighter, more emotional side to him. But when he's behind the scenes, he's more vulnerable. And that's very true to psychological battles. You're more vulnerable when you're on your own. There's no one to influence you, so that darker entity can control you. You're alone with your darker thoughts. And maybe Howdy is going to keep knocking at the door till he breaks Bray. Maybe LA Knight triggering Bray is the trigger that Bray needs to then take that full switch to the dark side. So all we've seen is battle versus the evil. We haven't really seen the good ghost of Bray, the good thoughts within Bray's mind, the voice of reason, if you like, which tells it how it is, full on fact. This is what's going on. Look, you've done so well to come this far. Don't become that person again. Don't push away your loved ones again. Don't become the Fiend. And maybe, just maybe, this week's episode of SmackDown, Friday the 16th, the birthday of the late, great Jon Huber, aka Brodie Lee, aka Luke Harper, maybe the ultimate tribute from Bray's front is to create a character in a good spirit, if you like. The lighter side of Bray. You've got the devil on one shoulder and the good on the other, and he is going to oppose Uncle Howdy. He is going to stick up for the good side of Bray. And that is Uncle Harper, potentially. We know that Bray Wyatt has filed the trademark to both of those names, and we haven't seen the good side. We haven't seen the good ghost. So what if we see that? I've got a feeling that's going to happen. Something big is going to happen on this week's episode of SmackDown. And do you think it's a coincidence, the fact that now Code Orange are teasing literally a day-by-day release to their theme? Do you think by any chance that theme might get released on the 16th in tribute to Brodie Lee? I mean, a lot of those lyrics seem to resonate with the relationship that Bray had with Brodie. And I love some of the lines in that whole theme. It kind of maybe gives away what's to come. I like the line, I am the ghost in the machine. You know, is Bray certainly saying again, even in his theme, that, you know, he is Uncle Howdy. He is the machine. Howdy's the machine that runs things, and the darker entity. And then you've got the lighter side in Uncle Harper, trying to be the voice of reason, trying to get Bray to resist the temptation of going back there. I absolutely love it, and it's certainly true, even further lyrics in the theme, that the little details matter, and Bray is definitely packing this storyline full of detail. And on the flip side, of course, we've got the logo appearing in Alexa Bliss segment. So how is that going to all tie in? Is Uncle Howdy sort of sick and tired of getting through to Bray, and now he's going to get through to Alexa to then get through to Bray via The Fiend potentially? I mean, there's so many questions, but I really, really like this angle. The fact that Bray is, at this moment, doing his very best, but as Howdy said, look, the door is closing. And you know, I thought that was very, very telling, because essentially what he's saying is, look, Bray, if you don't act now, you may never be able to wear a mask and become that dominant and powerful again. Now, if Bray had the option, A and B, A being rid the Fiend for good, you're never ever going to be able to go there, the door is fully closed, or B, become the Fiend again, what do you think, even though he's trying to battle that dark side, he's going to pick? He's going to pick B, isn't he? We still know there's that darkness within, that denial, that refusal to acknowledge his actions and be responsible. And you know he'd side with the dark side, and the dark side wins. Also, on a flip side, I was watching Insiders Pro Wrestling this week, and the Abby's Window segment, which I absolutely love, great show. And one thing that Jeff said I thought was really cool on this week's episode, the fact that what if Uncle Howdy is getting through to Asuka, and Asuka's going to be used to get the darkness out of Alexa Bliss. They've teased, of course, Asuka going back to a Kana gimmick, potentially, back in the days in Japan. So this evil, sinister, clown, kind of Joker-esque character, like basically breaking down Alexa Bliss until she turns back, snaps back to the dark side, and therapy didn't work. And then, of course, on the other side, you've got LA Knight being the trigger for Bray to get to the dark side. Also, the question being from last week's episode of SmackDown, was Howdy talking to Bray and getting Bray to decimate LA Knight, or the other way around, in LA Knight decimating Bray to then trigger that darker side? So many questions. Get down in the comments section, share your thoughts and opinions. They're always welcome, and we'll catch you in the next video.